back to '01. Back when yelling fuck was shocking and fun. Back when Musketeers exploded onto the scene. Britney and Justin were in sync, know what I mean? Steven Tyler screamed he didn't want to miss a thing. Back when Carson Daly dominated the screen. Back a couple decades before I felt old. Before Janet Jackson had a whole nipple exposed. Whoa. Hold up, whoa Nelly. Dr. Dre is scheduled to be featured on my telly. This about to be the best, there's nothing you can tell me. A heavy dose of nostalgia, no better way to sell me. Just that, a panic falls. I think I need to get my friends Frank and Jan and Cole.
It's Theme Park Thursday Live with Dillos Dudes. Featuring Frank. And Jen.
Is Theme Park
No,
Thursday?
do it again. You
No,
have to
come
do it
on.
again.
Come on, we're live.
You didn't hit the unmute quick enough.
So why does it do it that way every why? And and now I have the yips, I pause before I say this now, just for that very reason.
Uh-huh.
This This is Theme Park Thursday live on a Tuesday night here live on YouTube, not at Dillo's Diz Resort. We'll explain everything in a moment. She is Jen.
Hello.
And I am Frank, and it's we are doing this here on YouTube live. For about 4 months, we have been recording these podcast episodes at DillosDizResort.com. That is our Patreon, with memberships beginning as low as $1 per month. That $1 gets you into that world-famous, world-renowned Discord, one-channel Discord for $1. DillosDizResort.com. But a lot of these live streams we've been doing, especially over at the resort, they have happened around inclement weather here in New York.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
So we've been going through it again. Jen almost lost power an hour ago.
Of course.
It's been a whole thing.
But we're here. We made it.
We made it.
Yes.
We thank you for checking us out here at YouTube. It's our YouTube channel. We're trying to take better care of our YouTube channel once again. We go through this on again, off again relationship with YouTube over the years.
Yes. And we were hanging out with Dave over on Brandy and Dave's channel over there last week. And, Dave's talking to us about the shorts. We got to get into the shorts. We're like, fine, Dave, because he got us into TikTok. So obviously we have to follow what he says.
That's
and
right.
What have Frank and I have been doing for the last few days?
Shorts.
2 shorts a day. Because Dave said so. So
Dave
obviously.
said it. So we follow Dave. Thanks, Dave. Fine,
Yes.
Dave. But we had a lovely chat with Dave over on the Brandy and Dave channel last Thursday. If you haven't already, go over to the channel, sub, like, watch our 90-minute, 2-hour. How long? We were there for a while.
We were there for a while. Yeah, always.
So always a good time with Dave. And I know he made an announcement on his YouTube channel on Sunday night. So you might want to check that out.
No spoilers.
As well. No spoilers. Wishing him the best.
Yes. Lewis, brand your shorts as cargo shorts. That's what the playlist is called, Lewis. Go check it out. Okay.
Yeah, that's correct. The shorts on our YouTube channel are cargo shorts. Now, Jen, I don't want to recap the entire year here. But I'm about to, because for the first time in 4 months, we have a guest.
Yes, I'm very excited. Finally.
So
Yes.
if you recall, Jen, at the beginning of the year, we were celebrating our Dilloversary. It was
That's right.
5 years of podcasting insanity, which only began to become more insane in our 5th year.
Yeah.
Right? So we had that. Here it is. Hey, there's our logo there. All right. And part of that Dilloversary was that rather than having our 12 days of social media ohana we were doing at the holidays for several years, we decided we're gonna stretch it out over the course of the year, and at least once a month we were going to have members of what we've been calling our community core. And there's a
Yes.
community core there, bam, on that logo right there. So folks that we engage with in social media land, I'm not about to call it X. I'm not going to do it.
No, we're not getting
I'm
into
not
all
gonna
of that.
do it. I'm not there yet. I'm not
No.
ready.
No.
We would invite someone once a month and have discourse and talk
Yeah.
about what they're doing and the fun and exciting events that are going on in their lives and how it's connected to all the things here on the Theme Park Thursday podcast, even though it's Tuesday night as you're watching this live stream. So
Are you keeping up so far, everybody?
we did it for January. That's right.
Yeah.
We did it for January.
Yeah.
We did it for February.
Yeah.
We were getting ready to do it for March.
Yeah.
And then the world turned upside down.
And hasn't been back since.
No. So finally, we decided we're gonna take the plunge after multiple cancellations over these 4 months, at least 2 that I could think of, and invite tonight's guest. Today's guest, if you're listening in the audio feed on Theme Park Thursday, to finally engage with us and to say, at the time, I think they had this guest had just been on a cruise.
Yes.
Since then, there's been 2 more cruises.
All of those things have happened. We've been here just trying to get a podcast out once a week and canceling on him, going, "Hey, you want to come on?" Just kidding, not yet. Hey, you want to come on? Yeah.
And some of you who know us well know and listen to the podcast, we just canceled our Disney cruise for the whole family that was scheduled for next month, mainly because of these past 4 months. So in some way, it seems like, Frank and Jen are about to hurt themselves for an hour because talking about Disney cruises.
Sure.
But we purposefully went to our guest here today to lift us up with the awesomeness of Disney cruises and his recent experience on Disney cruises on the Twitter, not the X. I'm not ready to call it the X. You know him as DCL Cruising Dad with the at before that. So at DCL Cruising Dad. But for now, for the next hour or so, he's Chris. Chris, welcome aboard.
Thank you. Hello.
Thank you, Chris, for sticking it out with us these last few months and knowing that we really did want to have you here. It was just a crazy, crazy time.
Well, I'm glad to be here.
No, we appreciate it. We were chat. I think you take me through it real quick for your cruises this year, just so I can set my time frame in my brain. You were on a cruise in February, March, and May. Is that right? Am I hitting that?
That is correct. Yes. February we did the Wish. March we did the Dream, and then in May we did another Wish trip.
2023, full of wishes and dreams for you, Chris. I mean, I love it.
Yes.
Yeah, so I think in February you had just been on the cruise, and we were like, okay, let's start talking about this. You were kind enough to have a magnet of our logo on the door, because one of the many things that we missed on our Disney cruise last summer was decorating the door. We missed the memo about this for some reason. So I'm going to start there, Chris. Take me through. Not even before we get into how you got into the cruising, I want to know how you got into the door decorations, because this is a thing that I missed and Jen missed. We both missed it. I want to know how you knew about it.
Well, honestly, I learned about it from the Facebook groups, or even seeing on the cruises back in 2018, 2019, seeing all the people decorate their doors. And I remember on one of those earlier cruises, there was this really awesome magnet that would say the name of the ship, your family name, and then it would light up. And I immediately took a picture, found it on Etsy, and basically have ordered it since then. And then also Brooklyn, my 8-year-old daughter, we pretty much find as much princess wall stickers we can on Amazon, and we just go nuts. Put as much stuff on our doors as we physically can. And it also makes it so much easier for us to find our door when we're walking down the hallway, because every door looks exactly the same.
Yeah, that's a good point. Yeah, we were such bad planners when it came to our cruise last year, and any trip we ever have, but that we totally missed it all. And as we're walking around, we're like, oh, this is good. We got to do this next time. So I'm excited to do it when we go back again.
And you do it based on your theme. You have a Halloween cruise or a Christmas cruise. 25th anniversary sailings this year. The doors have been really amazing.
When it comes to your cruising experience, is it what came first? Was it your joy of cruises, or was it your joy of Disney cruises? How did that all come to be?
I would say it's actually a little of both. So my first cruise I ever took was actually 1994 on a Royal Caribbean with my mom, dad, and my sister Michelle. I have a great photo, and even back then they did matching family T-shirts. So I remember how much I enjoyed that cruise. In particular, the kids area, the kids camp or the kids zone. I'm not sure what it's called, but I really enjoyed that. And then in 2014, my wife Sarah worked for an IT company, and they treated all their employees to a 3-night Disney cruise. So that was my first experience. Amazing. In 2014. It was me, Sarah, and Jake. After that, I think we kind of dabbled a little. And then we looked at 2018 was our first family one, where it was the 4 of us, and my dad also joined, and my sister also joined us on that cruise. That was a 2018 on the Magic, and back then they had the stopped at Key West. So, which unfortunately they don't stop at now, but that was a fun little trip. Then in 2019, my wife and I took a 5-year belated honeymoon. We did a 8-night on the Fantasy.
Nice.
So that was really an amazing cruise to also see Disney from a adult only experience, not having any kids with you on the cruise. Then COVID gave us a little break, and then we've done the previous cruises that we mentioned earlier. We did another Wish back in October, and then the ones in February, March, and May again this year.
Oh my goodness.
We've dabbled a little, and I hope in the future years to kind of complete the Grand Slam of going on some of the ships we've missed, which is still the wonder.
So October, February, March, May. Are there more to? I mean, I know October wasn't what is time? It's all this year, right? Are there more to come in 2023?
Yeah, there's one more. We're doing one more Wish trip in September, and for that cruise, we'll be taking my business partners, John and his family, on their first Disney cruise. Nice. So I'm very excited to share this with them. They have kids about the same age. And then next year we'll be visiting Lighthouse Point when those cruises start up.
Very cool.
That's Disney's second private island.
Yeah. I think on and Mr. Snidillo, I know you're watching, correct me if I'm wrong. We went on in 2012, we went on a 3-night Magic. Maybe I'm getting all of this wrong, but I think so. And stopped at Key West, and we love Key West. We had been there just not cruising before and love it. And I am sad that they don't go stop there anymore, because for me, it was like a great combination of marrying the two worlds of two places, two things I love to do while on vacation. But yeah, that was I don't know. I love walking around there and then getting back on a Disney ship. I mean, nothing bad about that.
Well, it'd be the only way I would get to Key West, because I was never going to drive over that bridge. I wasn't driving across the bridge to get there. I was never doing it.
Oh, so
Okay.
Mr. Snidillo in the chat correcting me. It was 2013 because it was our 1 year anniversary. Right? Yep. 2012. It wasn't the honeymoon. It was the anniversary. Right.
In a 4-paragraph essay, Chris, can you compare and contrast, please? What do you like about each ship? What makes them different? What makes them special in your mind? We could start with just bullet points and then dive deeper from there. But I'm curious, especially since the Wish is still relatively new in the grand scope of things, that you've had multiple experiences on that ship already. So I'm curious to see what are the first things that jump out to you about each ship?
Being on the Magic years ago, that's one of the original ones. The size of that ship being the smallest of the fleet, the less people that would be on the ship with you, and the feeling of being on the original, the OG, compared to the Wish now, much bigger, but also newer and quite different setup, which we'll get into. The restaurants are typically different on the ships, with the sister ships, Magic and Wonder having similarities, the Dream and Fantasy having similarities, and we'll see with the Wish's sister ships coming out. All the ships have adult lounges, adult areas, kids clubs. A couple nice things with the Wish is it has a beautiful grand hall when you walk in. The restaurants being are different and themed. Let's see what else. Oh, one thing that the Wish knocked it out of the park is the food on the pool deck. Mickey's and Friends festival is outstanding. And I also like the setup on the Wish with having multiple pools and multiple pool decks, which allow different areas to watch all the shows on the deck. Let's see.
Yeah, nice. No, I mean, I think that's it. I think the thing about the pool deck jumps out at me because typically us Dillos, we love a good grill on the deck of a ship. So that's what is that what we're talking about for the Wish too? Is the grilling? I mean, that's you can't go wrong there. I feel like.
So the pool deck has 5 little mini restaurants or quick service areas. You have Goofy's Grill, which is going to have your burgers, chicken strips, fries, hot dogs. Minnie's Sweet Ice Cream, which my kids always seem to eat their weight in ice cream during the cruise.
Of course.
You'll have Donald's Cantina, which is tacos and burritos. And lastly, you'll have Daisy's Pizza, which the pizza on the Wish is much better than the other ships. The dough is made fresh every day. And they also do have gluten-free options up there also if you did have a
Thanks, Chris.
allergy. And last would be Mickey's Smokehouse, which is going to have your barbecue, your mac and cheese. So it is a real great selection up there.
Yeah, I did kind of feel like when we were on the Fantasy last summer and we first went to that outdoor, we were kind of like, I don't know. Feels like there should be more out here. Feels like more should be going on and there should be more options. And I think we did end up eating in we called it the not windjammer. We did end up eating inside more than outside because of that. But good to know they have more options on the Wish.
Yeah, it's good. Lexi is in the chat asking when hashtag Dillos meetup at sea will happen. I mean, it's a great idea. I think we're some time away from that. But
Lexi, we just got a weekend together. We just got 36 hours together. You know how hard that was for us.
Oh.
So there will be time.
Mr. Snidillo with the hashtag see the Dillos with the SCA.
That's a good one. Yeah.
Oh man, That's not good. That's not a good place to start. um, Chris, just in terms of your plan, not, with the COVID break, obviously, did you have trips planned during that time that you were then, they're all filling out here, or how did you go about planning this awesome year at sea, basically, for yourself?
Yeah, so we had, thinking back, I think we had the cruise we wound up taking in March of this year on the Dream was scheduled for March of 2020 on the Dream. And it would basically get moved every 3 months from March to I think around, maybe we looked in August. Then we tried to move it again. And then luckily we wound up ironically booking the same sailing just 2 years later. Some of the other cruises that we did in October was with Wish doing a 3-day and 4-day. The kids get about a week off for fall break and spring break. And we also get President's Day as a nice 3-day weekend. They give us the Friday before and the Monday. So what we did was we jumped on the Wish for October, and then we did her again on February because my son wasn't able to be with us in our October trip. So I wanted them both the kids to experience that ship. Especially my son loves basketball, so the first time we walked into Hero Zone and saw a half-court indoor basketball court, I know he'd be there all day long, and we would get him for dinners.
Yeah.
No, that's awesome. Yeah, that's so great. I mean, on the same page. You're like, wow, that sounds so cool.
Yeah.
Tell me a little bit about your planning process. What are the things you really look forward to, like getting your hands into? Like when, how do you plan? What's your strategy? What are the things you go after first?
As far as onboard activities, typically look towards any new tastings. When my wife and I did our honeymoon, we did I think it was a margarita or a different alcoholic tasting that was a lot of fun. You got to make the drinks. As far as activities for the kids, when we did our March trip, we did a dolphin swim, which was a ton of fun in Cozumel. Dolphins got to push us on boogie boards and hold on to their fins. Basically, I'll look at each port and evaluate the excursions as far as if we just wanted to do a beach day where they would take us to and from the beach, whether we wanted to do like Atlantis in Nassau or something like that, a water park, or honestly, sometimes if it is a port heavy cruise, we'll actually just use one day as just a day at sea, but not get off the ship. Basically just explore the ship and enjoy the ship while everyone else gets off. As far as different excursions, it's also based on your Castaway Key level to see if some of the excursions are even open by the time you get to go booking. So I typically will have 3 or 4 ones in mind, and then based on my availability, book and never look back.
And do you have a favorite port?
I'd say, with Cozumel, with us doing originally just a dolphin encounter and the last time doing a dolphin swim and a manatee encounter, the kids really, and I really enjoyed it. It was a very different experience than we had in the past. So I would definitely lean towards Cozumel right now with the kids. Trying to think, because most of our cruises have been Caribbean. It's a lot of repeats, but I mean, our love is always Castaway Key. This past time we did a stingray snorkel, which was a blast on the island. Got to feed them and basically spend an hour snorkeling with them.
That's awesome. Yeah, we Mama and Papa Dillo are not, they're huge cruisers, have been cruising their entire lives, but are not big get off the boat people. And
Mhm.
so when we were going to Castaway, we were like, you're getting off the boat. I just need you to know we're getting you off this boat on this island. You will enjoy. And we all basically were just in the water the whole day, just hanging out, looking at the boat. We were like, yeah, it doesn't get much better. It just was so good.
Yeah, I love that island.
Yeah.
It's we did it on that was our last port day, you know. So then
Mhm.
it's just like you ended on such a high note. It's hard to come down
Yeah.
after that. Um, the in terms of I want to just dip into your planning a little bit more because that's the one thing the
Because
whole
we're so
time
bad at it.
we're so bad at it that the tastings we always miss out on because we get in too soon. Have there been what if you miss something that you want early
Mhm.
on, and I'm sure you're on top of it way more than we ever are, but do you think just keep checking the app is the option? Do you think it's better just to do it when you get on board to see if people dropped off? What have you had any success in things you've missed out on but then were able to gain later?
Yeah, I would absolutely say to continue checking on. Typically, if there was an excursion or a tasting that someone booked and they wanted to cancel, Disney usually closes that window, I believe, 3 days before the actual sailing. So that's when you really
Mhm.
look. Also, each sailing does have typically will have a Facebook group. So sometimes people will politely say, "Hey, I'm going to be dropping this today at this time." Now, just because they're dropping the tasting or the excursion doesn't mean it's going to immediately show up in Disney's inventory, but at least you'll know to keep checking back.
Mm.
And then the last option, if nothing before you're on the ship, as soon as you get on the ship on embarkation day, guest services or other locations throughout the ship, and you could always join a wait list because sometimes they will hold back reservations for people to book once on the ship.
Yeah, that happened with us. We had booked our girls on for Bibbidi Bobbidi Boutique, and we had them on different times and all. So they were like, "Sure, when do you want to come in? What time? How's this?" And we're like, "Oh, there's options. What? We didn't even know if this would work at
Yeah.
all." So it was great, and they were very accommodating. And I have heard that before. Sometimes when we've missed out and we have heard like if you're on the ship you should be able to talk to somebody and they should be able to get you in if and sometimes there's last minute cancellations. So but the Facebook group is a good idea too, and I had joined the Facebook group. Clearly I wasn't paying enough attention, but but that's cool that people kind of like give everyone the heads up of, hey, I'm about to cancel this in case anyone wants in, keep checking the app. It's a nice community thing to do there.
And there is always an option to book an excursion outside of Disney.
Hmm.
Uh, the benefits of booking with Disney is if you get a flat tire, they're running late, guess what? The ship is going to wait for you.
Mhm.
Right.
Booking outside, you do run that risk. And some of them places are good and do guarantee you or bring you back early enough. So if there was an excursion that you really, really wanted and Disney was not offering it or it was full, there are other websites that do offer excursions at the ports.
Yeah. If you're listening to this in the audio on Thursday, I recommend you head over to our YouTube and check out the video because I am showing a slideshow of Chris's pictures from the Wish, which is slightly distracting, and I have to remember to keep talking because I'm just like, I want to go there. I need to be on this boat. I want to be there. These are very cool. You had mentioned that from your first cruising experience on the Royal Caribbean that you remember their kids club version. I assume your kids are probably experts for Disney's kids club. Do they love it? Are they there all the time? What has been their feedback?
Yes, so
Yeah.
we have one. Brooklyn would still qualify for the Oceaneers. Uh, club, and then Jake, he's in the intermediate age, so the edge is 11 to 14, and the vibe is 14 to 17. With him being 13, and we're able to sign a waiver so he could actually visit the edge and the vibe. So he's typically in and out, making friends there all day. And yeah, Brooklyn, we'll go for about an hour and a half, typically after dinner, and kind of see what activities are going on. What's really nice in the Wish, as we kind of scroll through the photos, is that there's a good amount of different areas actually inside the Oceaneers Club. You have your Star Wars cargo bay, you have a Marvel superhero academy, you have a fairy tale area, and then you also have an Imagineering lab. So there will be certain events and activities going on at each one, so the kids can pick and choose where to go to. And also, probably one of the best things about the kids club on the Wish is honestly the slide. As soon as you get on the ship, I walk right across and go right down the slide to get into the kids club, which the adults can do during open hours.
Oh, nice, man. Yeah, see, we gotta go.
Yeah. And one thing that's really important that I've learned through the kids, through all the cruises, is to make sure that the kids go on day one. I know embarkation day is quite busy. There's a whole laundry list of stuff that everyone wants to go check out, but they make the friends on that day, and then they'll look forward to seeing them for the rest of the cruise. It's a great way to get the kids to spend even more time in the kids clubs, and the adults can enjoy the Quiet Cove and the adult pool area.
Yeah. My God, these pictures are, I'm just, by the way, I'm getting side texts from Mr. Snidillo in all caps of how we have to go on the Wish. We have to go now. And also the bathrooms on the Wish, you know, a lot of people talk about Disney bathrooms, and the pictures of some of these bathrooms, I saw like the Pixar with all the doors were painted with the different characters. They're so cool. And people love Disney bathrooms, so it also has that. Can't leave that out.
I wanted to take a quick tangent. I meant to follow up with Jen a little bit earlier and ask her if she has swam with the dolphins before.
I have a very, very, very long time ago. I did a little dolphin meet and greet, but it has been in the years we don't quite remember much.
Yeah, I'm trying to think if it was the same time that I did, but I don't.
It probably was, and that's
around
why
around that same period of time. Because it's not something I don't think I could do it now. I was surprised I did it then, quite honestly, but it felt pressure. And but it is such a great experience, and we did it. I did it in Cozumel, so that's your call, Jen, whether you did it in Cozumel as well.
Yeah,
but it's such a great experience down there. So any chance you get to swim with dolphins, I say take it.
Yeah, for sure. Can I go back before all of this, Chris?
I'm working backwards.
I know, going backwards, because we could just talk about just the Wish all day. I think from these pictures, I'll be like, "What's this? Tell me more about this." Because you did go on like Royal Caribbean when you were younger, but where did your love of Disney start? And I'm going to assume there's a love of Disney if you're going on these Disney cruises. There's got to be some love for Disney there. So where did that start?
Growing up, our family, we did visit Disney a couple times growing up, and I had very good memories. I remember I used to have this Goofy hat that would basically be about this long, long ears.
Yeah. Remember
that being signed by Goofy. But I think when you become adults, you get rekindled with your love of Disney when you have kids.
Yeah.
And I remember seeing pictures of Jake on those first couple of cruises with the characters, and then Brooklyn, and it's just it really is just magical, and the characters on the cruises are different than they are in the parks. There'll be a time where you're just walking to dinner and one walks by you, and guess who's coming with you to dinner now?
Yes,
Mickey.
for sure.
So it's just magical from the second you step on the ship until when you step off.
Yeah. No, that was definitely one of our favorite things about the Disney cruise is just the character interactions. It kind of reminded us of growing up, going to Disney World where the characters would just be walking around and you didn't have to wait online. You didn't need a fast pass and you could kind of interact. And we felt that same way on last year's cruise. So yeah, that was definitely one of our favorite things. Do you remember anything specific about some of your trips growing up? Maybe where you stayed? Did your family have a favorite resort?
I remember I love a monorail.
Mhm.
So I would think back then we would probably have stayed at the Contemporary. But I remember getting on and off the monorail, and I look forward to sharing that experience with my kids in the future.
Yeah.
Wink, wink. But yes, I remember the monorail. I don't remember where we stayed. I'm going to guess it was the Contemporary, but I definitely remember riding the monorail. And I see Lexa for asking which royal ship it was. I believe it was the Sovereign of the Seas, going back to 1994.
Nice.
But yeah, I definitely enjoyed the rides on the monorail.
Yeah. Can't go wrong with that.
And I think it's Whoopie-Doo or Whoopie-Doo.
Hoop-de-doo?
Hoop-de-doo,
Oh,
yes.
Yes.
I
You'll see
remember
Jeffers in
getting
the chat start getting started on
Yeah.
that. Oh,
Jeffers.
Navigator of
Navigator
the
of the
Seas.
Sea.
Mm.
And I remember getting the wash bucket and just making all that noise during dinner.
Yeah. No, we love Hoop-de-doo.
Lexi is a former cruise ship performer. I would like to once again for her to list out the years that she performed on cruise ships and which ships applied to which years, because I'll need to do some research.
Thank you, Lexi.
Thank you, Lexi.
We expect that promptly.
We still haven't done your playlist, like Lexi, but
if you
we're
could do this
working.
for us, that would be great. She performed on Navigator of the Seas.
But probably not in 1994.
No.
There's still that odd part where I was teaching in the theater department that she was in. That's just weird. But I mean, there is that whole thing. Chris, just in terms of, because I saw that Ryan mentioned that there's rumors that there may be a Haunted Mansion themed lounge on the Treasure. We're big on the lounges. We love the lounges in the parks. We love the lounges on the ships. You got a favorite lounge that is your go-to? Multiple nights in a lounge, maybe? How does that play out for you?
It would be between the Bayou, which has great jazz music and some beignets, or Nightingales, which has a great piano bar. Those would be my two go-to on the Wish. And yes, I have heard those rumors, which would be very interesting to see if they switch that out with the Star Wars.
That would be big, I think.
Yeah. I'm thinking of those lounges now, beignets and jazz and a piano bar. We love our piano bars. So.
Yeah, we do love our piano bars. Aqua Mouse or Aqua Duck is my next question for you, Chris.
So I definitely like the Aqua Mouse. The two different shows you get to watch, and I wish it was just a little bit longer on the actual ride part, but we definitely enjoy the Aqua Mouse. First thing we get on embarkation day, run up before the line gets too long.
Yeah. We're just staring at your pictures.
We're getting caught up in the
staring. Chris, since this is community core and we're doing these monthly, everybody, did you hear? Can you tell us how you found yourself in the social media community? What made you want to start DCL Cruising Dad? You have a website, dclcruisingdad.com. You have all the social media. I see you on TikTok all the time. Tell us what brought you into on that side, instead of just like, I'm just on these boats and they're awesome. You're now sharing with everybody.
Yep. It was two things. First and foremost, it was my wife, Sarah. She saw all the lists and to-do lists and notes I was taking on every cruise of how to make each cruise better. And she actually recommended starting the website, and also just helping people on the Facebook groups, answering questions. She saw how much I enjoyed that, and she supported me and actually recommended to start the website, which is what I started back in November of last year. Started the website, found all the handles, bought the website, and then I redid it in March after realizing that the host wasn't working out well, but that gave me the ability to build websites. So I've learned over the months how to do that, and then basically just using my iPhone on all the cruises, taking photos, sharing it, and answering questions online. Let's see. The other benefit of the website is a digital version of all our vacations for the kids to look back on. They're curious. Oh, what was that great meal we had? I could pull it right up versus trying to search for it in my phone or anything like that. It's a fun little digital passport for the kids.
Yeah, definitely.
So it definitely was my wife being in IT helping me build the website, because I had zero knowledge of how to build a website and build a brand and do anything like that.
Yeah.
So she's been my rock to help me during all of it. And the other benefit is, honestly, I use Hootsuite to send out everything on social media. It's kind of set it and forget it. Make the videos, set a date, and let it go. Yeah. It's been fun. I know on Twitter I've made some great friends. The DCL community is quite small, so there's a handful of us always chit-chatting about the cruises.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Small but mighty.
Yes.
Yeah.
I don't want to get into the favorites yet. Can you take me through your perfect onboard day, not at sea day? Take me through like all the things that you love to do over the course of a day while you're at sea.
Absolutely. So actually, we'll start the night before. We get a little card that allows me to, I like to call it a pre-breakfast. I'll get a carafe of coffee, get the kids some fruit bowls, some cereals, some bagels, toast, get that sent to the room around 7 o'clock, so I could have my coffee in the morning and the kids can have a little snack before we run out for the day. Typically, we will then go up to either Cabanas or Marceline Market, whatever ship we're on, their buffet for a little breakfast, a little Mickey waffle in the morning. And then on my perfect day at that point, Jake would probably head off to the basketball court, and Sarah, Brooklyn, and I would go to the Royal Gathering, which is basically gives my daughter the ability to see 5 princesses in under an hour, which is awesome.
Dream come true. Yeah.
Yes. After that, we would head up to the pool, probably grab an ice cream on the way, get a seat, and go enjoy some pool time. After the pool, we'd eat at the one of the restaurants on the pool deck. Probably grab some of Mickey's Smokehouse mac and cheese and a burger and a slice of pizza, and then go join Jake in the basketball court, watch him, or if the Incredible Games is out, watch him run around that for a little bit. Typically in the past, we've always done main seat for dining, so we would all go to dinner together, go see a show that evening, and then maybe let the kids play a little more in the kids clubs. And then my wife and I would spend some time on the pool deck, just watching the sunset or watching whatever movies on Funnel Vision.
Yes.
So nice and relaxing day with getting to spend time with each kid individually and together.
Yeah, that's awesome. Yeah, I feel like we did not take advantage of Funnel Vision at night enough, even though beforehand I was like, oh, I'm so excited to do that. And then because the kids would love the Oceaneer Club so much, they did that, and then we would end up in our favorite lounge, and I'm going to keep talking until Frank interrupts me with the name of it because I'm blanking.
Oh no, it's O'Gill's, right?
Oh,
It's
Gills,
O'Gill's,
yes,
yeah.
Yes.
Mhm.
yes. So we would be hanging out there until we're like, oh, I guess we got to go pick up the kids. So yeah, and then I think Frank and I individually we would sneak out to fill up like the water cups for the kids, and then just linger on the pool deck to be like, what are you guys watching? What's that's so nice up here with the breeze and everything? I want to just stay up here. So I think next time that is definitely like, no, I will be spending at least one night watching a movie up
Mhm.
there for sure.
Yeah. Got to be on deck to at least see one sunset or one sunrise.
Right.
Yeah. Well, yeah, that too. I gotta make a list.
Yeah,
Thanks.
Write it all down. No, I was gonna ask too whether okay, you've been on multiple cruises. Have you just gone dawn to dusk watching Funnel Vision? That's
Yeah.
I have not, but I've definitely spent a good amount of time up there.
I mean,
Yeah.
it's so good.
Yeah.
It it'll hook you right in. Especially when it's something you want to watch. You're like, oh, yeah, I want to watch Raya right here, right now. Yes.
Yeah. Exactly.
All right, so now I think we can get into what is the greatest meal you've ever had on any Disney ship?
We'll do two answers. So 1923 on the Wish.
Mm.
I love the filet, and I would say the second favorite meal, if you were to include adult dining, on my honeymoon we did Palo, which was outstanding. The Italian adult dining on the Fantasy. Well, Palo's on all the ships, but it was outstanding. Really, just some of the best Italian food you'll eat.
Yeah. For sure.
And it's so funny when I ask the question, my brain, because I've been on other cruise ships and cruise lines, and so when I ask that question, I don't even. It just thinks about the dining room. I never. I'm like, oh I had Palo. I know what my I know what my best meal was. But yeah, as soon as you say that, it's that sounds awesome. Maybe you've already touched on it, but of the tastings you may have had, what is the best tasting that you've had?
The margarita. I think it was a margarita one that we had, and you had about, I think, of 4 or 5 different kinds.
Oh man!
And you left there feeling great, and drinks to go. So there's it was nice. It was fun to make it. Each drink, the bartender would explain the origin of the drink and tell you about all the bitters or anything that they added. So it was a lot of fun.
Yeah. And you got a to-go cup with that?
Yeah, you were able to take the cups to go. Now, actually, I think it was a mojito tasting because I'm remembering the Mortal.
I love mojitos.
And I don't, because we talk about scotch here a lot, so we talk about beer here a lot and wine. But if you get me a good margarita anywhere, like that is top of the list for me. I've had some great margaritas over the years, so I didn't even think about the idea that they would have a margarita tasting. Now I'm like, now I will find the margarita tasting next time.
Yeah, I do recall seeing that on the plans in the lineup. Sorry. What has been your favorite show that you've seen? Putting you on the spot.
Yeah, I'm gonna say The Little Mermaid. That was outstanding when we saw it in October and saw it again in February. And a close second would be Aladdin, which really is great when the genie has some great jokes.
Yes. Yeah, we saw the Aladdin last year. It was really the Aladdin. How old am I? We saw the Aladdin.
We saw the
Aladdin. Yeah, no, we really enjoyed that show a lot. That's a good one.
They both were good. Frozen and Aladdin both.
Yeah.
I enjoyed a lot last year. We don't mention that enough, I think.
I know.
But
yeah, we don't show it enough love. What would be your best tip for someone who has never gone on a Disney cruise?
So best tip would be to probably set your expectations. You are not going to get to do everything that you want to do. But what I would do is I would spend the morning looking at the Navigator app, the app that Disney Cruise Line provides you, and if you were to hit the heart on something that interests you, it will actually remind you 15 minutes before, so that so that you'll know to go to it. But I'd go through each day and kind of set what you would like to do, and then figure out what you actually have the time to do, and just enjoy the little things on the ship. Even just walking around and seeing the
There's so many
carpet,
details.
tell you where you are. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Just-
Would you say to Dillo the expectations, Chris?
Yeah.
Or maybe not that bad, but maybe
Dillo
but
up
yeah.
here, that's not too high. Do you recommend a week long? Are you comfortable with weekends? Like Jen was on a short one early on. Do you think you get a suitable bang for your buck on a shorter trip, or do you recommend the full week?
Obviously, the longer you're on the cruise, the better. You'll get to know the ship more. You'll get to enjoy the restaurants more than once. So, for example, if you were to do the Wish on a 3-night, you would not get the pirate menu, but you would get the pirate night fireworks and show, versus the 4-night on the Wish. You would get that. So typically, I always like to say a longer cruise, the better. We've been on 7 nights. We've been on 3 nights, 4 nights, 3 nights. You do feel like it goes by quite quickly because you really do love those sea days. Gives you just a day to kind of relax around the ship. But yeah, if I was to pick one, I would take a 7-nighter all the time. You get more ports, get more rotations at the different dinings. You'll get different menus. It'll also give you time to enjoy adult dining versus feeling like you're missing out on something on a 3-night cruise.
Yeah. And something I was thinking of as Frank asked that question is you are not a Florida resident. So do you combine these cruises with Disney trips as well?
We have not.
Okay.
We typically we've flown in the day before. We'll stay at a local hotel, or going out of Port Canaveral, we've like to stay at the Hyatt at the airport, and then use Disney transfers to and from the cruise. So most of the time, we have not done a land and sea or sea and land type of vacation. I do think eventually when we as the kids get a little older and we venture out to an Alaskan cruise, I think I would go a couple of days in and enjoy Vancouver.
Yeah.
So yes, I think we will eventually spend a little more time outside the cruise window.
Yeah, well, that's cool. Do you? Oh, you know what? Maybe I should have this be the last favorite question. So if Frank has other favorite questions.
Well, I want the chat to give the chat the opportunity to think of
okay.
anything they
Yes.
might have as well. So go
All
ahead,
right.
Jen, and then I'll tell you what I'm doing next year.
Oh, okay. Okay. Do you have a favorite Disney ship?
I was pondering that. I was pondering that all day because I really loved the fantasy with it being our honeymoon, the magic being the time both the kids got on their first ship. But honestly, I would take any ship any time of the day.
Yeah.
If I was to pick one, though, I probably would go with the fantasy. That just I think overall that was by far my favorite ship.
Yeah, I mean, we're pretty biased having just gone on last year, but it was pretty good. Yeah.
Pretty good. I'm gonna pull up here on the YouTube channel. If you're listening on the audio, make sure you go to DCLcruisingdad.com to check out Chris's website. Tell me about things, long-term goals and plans you have here.
Yeah.
Things you want to do.
Yeah. So my goal really for this year, my first year dabbling in, to apply for the Plan Disney, which is a basically people that will apply through Disney in certain areas. So I would like to be specific to Disney Cruise Line. And then people would basically post questions on plandisney.com and it would give me chances to answer the questions,
Oh, cool.
basically be a panelist.
Yeah.
I actually
Yeah.
learned about that last year, the same time that I kind of started the website, and that's been my goal for this year. The applications will be in September.
Oh, very cool.
But overall, it is just to continue sharing cruises that we've been on. And I really do enjoy answering questions. Like, go on to Facebook a couple times a week and just see what questions people are answering, and spending time just to give everyone the chance to have their cruise be just as magical and learn something from the cruises that we've been on. So I think those are kind of my goals to continue on. I have thought, based on how well this goes, to talk about maybe starting a podcast where I would just talk about my tips and tricks on Disney Cruise Line. But for right now, I think the Plan Disney panel is what's next up for me.
That's awesome.
Nice. Yeah.
Cool.
How do you feel about the TikTok? You got all the socials up there on the top there. How do you feel about
honestly, that's the least active one I'm on, because I'm
Mhm.
able to just put a video through Hootsuite on there.
Yeah.
I really actually never sign on to get stuck in the interwebs.
Yeah.
Most of the time, it's just watching YouTube videos of people that have gone on the ships and just learning how to take different videos. I've upgraded my iPhone to an actual camera, so I'm excited to give that a whirl on our next cruise.
Yeah.
But TikTok's I actually don't even have the app on my phone. I throw the videos out there and see if anything sticks.
You're
Yeah.
saving 3 hours of your life every day, Chris. We commend you for such a choice.
Exactly.
Yeah, we wish we could do that. We can't quit the TikTok. So to wrap up, I mean, what I love on the website, just quick, is the trip reports, and I question why Jen and I do not try to relive our history going back to the 80s and see if we can remember everything that happened on our trips. That's probably long-term goals for us someday, is to post, here's what we did in January 1985.
Right. Yeah.
And but I love how you break down your trip reports on your website. That's really cool. So
well, awesome. Thank you. I try to do basically two things on the website. I have it divided by every ship. So if you were, based on which one you were going to go on, you could click on that ship in particular and learn all about it. And then you could read about our trip reports on the ship, and then which stateroom, so that if you were looking in the same category or anything like that, you can kind of see what the rooms offer.
That's awesome, because so many people want to see, like, I want to see real pictures of the room. I want to see a real view from this specific room, and it's hard to find that sometimes. So that's cool that you post all of that. Yeah.
All right. Well, Chris, I'll give you the opportunity. We kind of been plugging, we've been plugging the Twitter, not the X, along the way here, but I know you got similar handles across the board. So if you want to take a moment and do the plugs and do the things, the platform here on our stream is yours.
All right. So you guys can find me basically everywhere at DCL Cruising Dad, and then on YouTube will be DCL Cruising Dad 2012. And on the YouTube, I have it broken down by each ship that we've been on. So if you just wanted to see videos or shorts from the Wish, there will be a folder for that. If you wanted to see just photos from the Dream, you have an opportunity for that also. But that's those are all the ways that could be found. Any questions on cruising could be dclcruisingdad@gmail.com. And that's where you'll find me.
Awesome.
Great. Those in the chat, thanks for hanging out with us. Make sure you like this video. Tell your friends that it happened here. As
Share it around.
we'll be dropping the audio here for the Theme Park Thursday podcast. But Chris, not only are you the first guest that we've had in 4 months, and made you wait for it, but I know this is your first go around with one of these, and you passed with flying colors.
Thank you.
You did
Thank
it.
you.
It's nothing from here on out.
Yes.
Smooth sailing. But Chris, thanks for taking the time. Hopefully we can do it again sometime, probably when we need help on our trip next year.
Yes, for
And
sure.
Absolutely.
thanks for hanging out with us in the chat. And if you're revisiting or rewatching this stream, make sure to like and sub and do the whole thing. Until next time, she's Jen. That's Chris at DCL Cruising Dad, and I'm Frank. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Kisses.